All right, here's the next one. Hey, how you doing? My name is Santito, and welcome back to another Dokkan battle video, guys. Here we go. Here's the antithesis to the video we just dropped. Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This is LR Omega SHENRON, y'all. Guys, I'm so hyped. I'm very, very excited. I have my hopes and my standards set really high for this guy right here. We haven't really gotten like a smash hit, crazy, super busted Omega SHENRON, and I'm really hoping that this is gonna be the time. This is gonna be the one. This is a Dokkan Fest, so he's gonna have the banner unit of Pan right here. But one can only hope that this guy is as good as we want him to be. We are gonna check it out, guys. Thank y'all for tuning into the other one. You know, I want to get that summon video that I was talking about, the summon extravaganza video. We are gonna do it. Ignore the motorcycle out there. We are gonna do it. I just gotta get the time to. So it's probably not gonna happen tonight because I was working on the thumbnail. Really had a hard time for whatever reason trying to figure out that thumbnail for the other video. But we definitely are gonna get that summon video out probably tomorrow. Probably tomorrow is gonna be when it works best for me. So yeah, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into it. So okay, this is the Gogeta. I'm gonna click off of that and pull this up. Obviously we have the animations to get to first, so I'm gonna go ahead and pause the music and play the video. This is Pan, of course. Okay, just a whole bunch of attacks and a slap. Maiden's Rage? Wow. That's kind of cute, but that's really it. Oh, here we go. Oh man. The aura. All right, let me chill. Let me chill. Yo. Bro. Oh, it's a voice, bruh. Of course it is, but about time, man. We've been waiting for a real good Omega. Oh, here we go. We got a counter. Grind it in. What? Oh, here we go. Damn. Okay, you could tell it was a little bit of a dip with that, but that was okay. This is actually the 12 key. That was the counter from before. Okay. Oh, what the fuck? Okay. wait. No, we gotta run that back. What the fuck is that? They just flipped the PNG. That is insane. What the fuck is this? That might be one of the goofiest things I've ever seen in a Dokkan summon or super attack animation. Well, that was the 12 key. This is the 18. Let's go ahead and take a look. Oh, is this the 18? Or is this something else? It's voiced. Is that active? They didn't do it. I'm confused. Maybe there's some boost. I don't know. Maybe there's some. Oh, it's a domain. Oh my god. Oh, it's a domain. Wait. Oh my god. Okay. I fuck with the domain. Oh man. I mean, this is not. I would not say this is anniversary or GDC level. And oh, it's an attack. Oh, okay. All right. Let's play that video. Let's go ahead and run this back. I would not say this is to the standard, or sorry, the quality of the last, obviously of Gogeta. This is not to that standard, clearly. But I mean, it's not bad. It's cool. I wouldn't say it's like super hype level animations, but I mean, this is not new to us. You know, we've gotten this level, this quality of animations out of anniversary / you know, global Dokkan campaign / worldwide download celebration units before. So I'm not upset. That is insane. We gotta run that back, dude. That looks so goofy on 2x speed. What is going on? Dude, this is crazy, bro. Literally became a Beyblade. But dude, this looks ridiculous. I'm sorry. What is that they? I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it, but whatever. No, I know how I feel about it, but regardless, that's just hilarious. The domain. I mean, we do have some like solid, like in terms of like graphic quality, like it looks good. It's just the like. It's just, I don't know. It could be smoother. It could be, you know, instead of a sprite, it could be an actual animation like Gogeta's is. But I'm not gonna harp on it too long. It will get what we, you know, we get what we get, and we will not get upset. I'll take it. All right, cool. So those are the animations. Nothing super crazy, nothing to write home about. But I mean, it's just all right. I'm not gonna complain about it. So whatever. I mean, I suppose I should complain because this is a massive celebration, and obviously Gogeta's are like leagues above better than his. Gogeta's genuinely might be the best in the game. For a single unit to have such consistent quality, like they literally just took all the budget out of him and just put it on Gogeta. They took all the budget out of Shenron and said, you know what, Gogeta, go have fun. Let's splurge on that man and let him have his fun with his animations, because I mean, obviously he didn't make them, but you get what I'm saying. It's just like, it's clear. There's a very clear league of difference. But regardless, let's go ahead and go on with the video. So, leader skill, inhuman deeds, power absorption, or GT bosses, 3 key, 200% to HP, and then 170 to attack and defense. And then the boost categories for the extra 50% to those stats are Shadow Dragon Saga, Worldwide Chaos, or Battle of Fate. So, that is good. I don't know if y'all remember, but maybe I'm misremembering, but I'm pretty sure these guys didn't have 3 categories. Yeah, they only had 2. They had 2 for the regular categories and the boost. They only had 2. So I'm glad that they did this with Omega, because he does need to boost 3 categories, regardless of what we're talking about. Extreme class characters, just there are less of them in the game, less good ones, less proper representation, I suppose. They need more help, is really what I'm trying to say. They need more help. So the more categories that we get, the more boost categories that we have, the better it'll be. And especially because this guy, typically with GT characters, they really hone in on the GT side, and GT just obviously isn't going to get as much representation because it's not a part of like the main Dragon Ball timeline. It just doesn't have as much in it. So I'm glad that they put the GT and the Shadow Dragon Saga in there, because that honestly, those categories obviously should be buffed. Those are a given, but we do need the other ones too, just to even it out, level out the playing field, make it all fair. So I definitely agree with what they did here with 3 categories. Obviously, I really do wish, you know, the other guys got 3, but honestly, they don't need 3. They don't need it. Other characters might need it, but like they don't. So I don't know. It's an interesting predicament, but regardless, let's go ahead and continue. So the passive skill, Diabolical Abilities, activates the entrance animation when all allies are extreme class characters. Okay, I mean, that condition isn't fantastic, only because all extreme class is going to be pretty tough. Again, he does lead 3 categories, so you can get a lot of extreme class characters in there, but you're typically going to be wanting to run him with, I'm really focusing on like Worldwide Chaos, but that's the thing, is you're going to need like Inhuman Deeds. That's probably going to be the category that you'll get the most out of, just because you have characters like the Omega Shenron. I guess this guy did get his EZA. I don't know how good he is. He might be relatively solid, but we have all these dudes, but it's really going to be coming down to him. Shit, there's not a lot. That's the problem. There's not a lot in Human Deeds. I mean, Power Absorption will have some stuff. We do have this Cell here, which is pretty solid. This guy's EZA was good, but he's now pretty dated. Honestly, there's not really a lot to work with here. So he is a great, he will probably end up being a great unit on his own. but the tough part is trying to figure out where he, you know, how he does with the other characters. I'm assuming Shenron will probably be relatively good enough to use in content. He is a free-to-play character, which I think is awesome, honestly, that they have him as a free-to-play character. I'm really hoping that he is good enough, because there's really not a lot of options here for people that we can use. So I guess we will see. But let's go ahead and carry on. So the entrance animation, obviously all allies have to be extreme class, and then extreme class allies chance of performing a crit plus 20% and randomly changes tech or AGL key spheres to rainbow key spheres for 1 turn. We love the rainbow orb changing. We need that, and it changes 2 types, so it's even better. Lovely. The second part launches an additional super attack and extreme class allies key plus 2 and 70% to attack for 4 turns. So that is also really good. The additional super, we love to see that for 4 turns. And then the extreme class support, if this was attack and defense, that'd be even better, but we'll take the attack stat buffing. That's nice. Basic effects: key plus 3 and attack and defense plus 300%. Awesome. That's a good amount. Receives an additional key plus 1 per key sphere obtained. Okay, same thing as Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This is feeling like honestly the extreme Beast Gohan, the negative side. Like this is like the bad Beast Gohan, honestly. Damage reduction rate plus 50%. Beautiful. I'm assuming there isn't going to be a lot of damage reduction in this guy's kit because there wasn't with the Gogeta. They're probably going to make it relatively even, you know, the antithesis to each other. So I'm assuming there's not going to be much here, but obviously they're going to vary in some way. So there might be. Randomly changes physical or int key spheres to rainbow. What? This guy just changes the whole orb, the whole field to rainbow orbs. Like, I mean, cool, I guess, but like not really cool because you might have nothing at the end of the day. So this is a little dangerous. I mean, this does only last for 1 turn, and then this lasts, well, indefinitely, but it's randomly. So we might not even see that happen. There might be a case where you just don't even see that. This will happen, but for the first turn. So I don't know. It's a little worrisome, honestly, but we might be okay. And then with a rainbow key sphere obtained, which this guy, there's no shortage of, basically, extreme class allies defense plus 70% plus an additional damage reduction rate plus 10% for characters who also belong to GT bosses for 2 turns. That is fantastic. A bunch of defensive support. Extreme class allies get 70, and he gives 10% damage reduction, which is kind of like Path to Power Kid Goku. He gives 10% damage reduction to GT boss category allies on top of the 70% to extreme class, and they do that for 2 turns, which is incredible. Incredible. If you run 2 of him, you can get that buff up twice, 140% and 20%. I'm assuming. So that is wild. That is an amazing amount of support. I love that. That's awesome. When attacking, attack plus 150%. Of course, that's a given. That's awesome. When key is 18 or more, 150% more attack when attacking, and then 150% more defense when receiving an attack. Beautiful. We want those. We want more defense. I'm already seeing a little bit less because Gogeta definitely had more, but this is still okay. I'm not upset with this, you know. And then when attacking with 24 key, you get a guaranteed crit. So I do think that'll be pretty easy because he rainbow orb changes, and then you get the additional key plus 1. I don't think that'll be too hard to get. 24 key will probably be fairly easy as long as you don't change the whole goddamn field into rainbow key spheres. You should be okay. When receiving an unarmed super attack, okay, behind Ki Blast, this is probably the next most important one, so that's all right. Great chance of nullifying it and countering, of course. And then same thing with Gogeta, nullifies and counters with tremendous power when HP is 70% or less. I love that. I love this whole section right here is awesome. If it was you know, maybe something other than unarmed, but regardless, I mean, the fact that he's even nullifying and countering a super attack is fantastic. So basically a 70% chance. It sucks that it's left up to chance, but I mean, it's 70%, so it's the best kind that you could get. And then he just guaranteed does it when HP is 70% or less. That's just awesome. All right. And then after performing 5 or more attacks in battle, we got a whole bunch of shit. You give extreme class allies 2 more ki and chance of performing a crit plus 20%. Nice. I mean, I love the fact that we're giving them more ki. This seems to really be affecting like LRs a lot, because these guys are getting a lot of crit up here, and then defense and damage reduction and more ki and crit. Like, this guy is a massive buff to extreme class. But again, that's the problem, is trying to figure out where the hell, what team he fits on. If he's not your leader, who is? I guess that's the better question. He might not be a good lead himself just because of his categories, but the other teams that you can run him on would be good. That just means that you can't run 2 of him. But even just the one, I mean, he seems like he's going to be really solid so far. And then the next part, randomly changes tech or AGL key spheres to rainbow starting from the character's next attacking turn. Okay, so we return to this buff from the beginning here, where you only had it for the first turn and you just get it straight up. Not the crit part, but just the rainbow orb changing. And again, I'm gonna repeat this. This is a bit concerning because it is after performing 5. It's performing 5 or more attacks, not receiving. Now the Gogeta was receiving 3 or more, and then there was a 7 or more. This is just 5 or more. So this is a bit concerning because this is not super hard to do. You could do this by Omega's second turn, really. And then starting from Omega's 3rd turn is when this would be up. So that's a lot of orb changing. It's good for other characters on the field, but whoever's attacking first might not be good. they might not get a lot of orbs. It's a bit concerning. It's a little too much orb changing, but we will roll with it because we need orb changers. So, and this guy's a great support. So very happy with this. Before we get into the active or the Dokkan, or the domain rather, let's go into the super attacks. So the 12 ki raises defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to enemy, and then greatly lowers attack and defense. Awesome, that's great. No stacking, but still we'll take what we can get. And then the 18 ki greatly raises defense for 4 turns, mega colossal damage to all enemies, and then disables enemy action once within the turn. Holy shit, that's actually really helpful. That's really good. Yeah, there's not a lot to say about that. That's just straight good. The disable enemy action once, that's awesome. Greatly raising defense for 4 turns. You can stack that for a couple turns, so that's awesome. It is just the 18 ki though, so you do only get 1 proc of it, but it's all right. And then it's to all enemies. I mean, there aren't really many difficult fights where you're fighting multiple enemies, so you might not see that as much, but it's good enough, right? And then let's go ahead and I guess we'll start, I don't know, well, the active skill makes the domain, so we'll read the active skill. So, and then yeah, so here we go. Jesus Christ, what the hell am I saying? Can be activated when there is another Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, or GT Boss's category ally attacking in the same turn, or after the character performs 5 or more attacks in battle. Okay, so once this stuff is up, you can activate this, or if you just have another one of the characters that are on his leader skill just on your team or attacking in the same turn, which could literally just be turn 1. So that's awesome. He creates the domain Earth Shrouded in minus energy for 3 turns. Okay, so here's the domain. Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption, or GT Boss's category enemies and allies get 25% to their attack, increases damage received by superclass enemies and allies by 20%, plus an additional 10% for characters who also belong to the Earth Protecting Heroes, Fuse Fighters, or GT Hero category. That is awesome. So, I mean, it's a domain. So we know what domains do. Typically, they just increase the amount of damage typically you would deal, and then increases the amount of damage the enemies would receive. So you're really going to want to be using this domain when you're fighting superclass enemies, and it increases the damage done to them by 20%, plus an additional 10 if they belong to these categories. Which I will say for superclass characters, the amount of fights of characters that are in these teams is a great amount, and that's solely because of, really honestly, Earth Protecting Heroes, because Earth Protecting Heroes just pretty much covers fucking every single fucking superclass character almost. But Fuse Fighters also covers some of that, and then there are some GT heroes. I'm sure there's going to be a hard Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta fight in this celebration at some point. But yeah, Inhuman Deeds, Power Absorption GT bosses, I do wish there were more. I do wish it was honestly just Extreme Class in general, because there are a lot of Extreme Class characters who we can't really use this with. So it is what it is. It just means that they're just not getting this 25% attack buff. So it could be worse. It's, you know, like, it's not the worst thing ever. But that also does mean if you're fighting anybody who is on this team, on these teams, they get more damage. So you just want to be careful with who you're fighting and who you're using this domain around before you get clapped, basically. The links: Brutal Beatdown, Big Bad Bosses, GT, Fear and Faith, Shadow Dragons, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, pretty basic Omega Shenron links. And then here are the categories. Again, not a lot of categories here. So that is pretty much it for Omega. How am I feeling? That's a great question. I like where they're going. Again, as a standalone unit, as a solo unit, him by himself in a vacuum, he's probably top 5. Although I am a bit concerned with his defense. I don't know how his defense is going to look. Gogeta had guard. This guy doesn't. And Gogeta also had a lot more. You know, honestly, let's just pull up Gogeta, because we already did his video. So I don't know if you guys saw that video or not, but whatever. We're just going to roll with it. Gogeta not only has guard and damage and the same amount of damage reduction, he has a lot more defensive abilities just in his kit, straight up. Omega does as well. He does provide a lot of support, which is kind of where a lot of it is going to come from. This does not exclude him. Normally it would say, like, you know, self-excluded. He does get the 70% here. He gets the additional 10% here. And then he gets, obviously, this 150%. You know, as long as the domain is up, he's getting covered a bit by that. And then the super attack and stuff. Like, he has some things in there, but not a lot. Gogeta really has a lot of stuff right here. I'm not concerned with him dying, honestly, at all with a lot of stuff. The only place I'd even consider him possibly getting close to death is in the damn, what the hell is the name of the event? You know, the super long event. I don't know. I got it in the last video. I cannot seem. Oh, Festival of Battles. There we go. Festival of Battles. I'm concerned about that. But other than that, I'm not really too worried about either of them. Omega, though, yeah, I mean, Omega, I'm a little bit more concerned, but I do think he'll pretty much get through most of the game. And that, honestly, I feel like this will carry a lot of it. Although, again, unarmed supers, I don't know how many bosses. I've been kind of disconnected from Dokkan for a minute, so I'm not really sure how many bosses have unarmed supers and how many will be affected by that. But I digress. I do think he is going to be very massive. Pretty much slap him on any fucking extreme team you can slap him on, and you have to run him, obviously, because he's a new release. He's gonna be good off the rip, but just the amount of support he's giving is honestly incredible. You don't need to necessarily lead your team with him, although it probably would help having 2 of them. But again, you're only going to be able to do the domain with 1 of them, so there's that. But I do think 1 of him will be enough to do a lot of good. But again, the extreme class is just not where it should be. It is not doing so hot. So that's the tough part. As long as we get some easy A's, some super easy A's, and more units, then we'll be talking. But that's really the major thing here. Unfortunately, Dokkan, well, not unfortunately, it's just the game is a team game. You know, you fight with other people. So Omega is not alone in a vacuum. As good as he might be, and that's the other thing, half of his kit is support. So like, even if you wanted to rate him in a vacuum, then technically you'd have to exclude half of his kit anyway because it's all support. But regardless, let's just factor it in. In a vacuum, he's probably top 5, maybe top 10 for sure. I would probably argue somewhere around top 5, but it's hard though, because all of the new ones, and then of course the easy A's for the 7th anniversary LRs, and both of those easy A's are good, but the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta 7th anniversary LR is honestly on top of the game right now. And then Super Saiyan 4, this Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta is good. 10th anniversary LRs are good. The part 1 of GDC 2025, those 2 units are also top 5. So honestly, this guy probably might not land in the top 5, only because again, extreme is not great. Like, a lot of his kit is just support. So in a vacuum, he's probably just outside the top 5. Or sorry, not in a vacuum, he's just outside the top 5. I think he is top 10, but it's tough though, because again, a lot of the units you can't, like, you honestly, as much as this leader skill would be nice to actually be useful, it really isn't. There are not a lot of teams you can run this guy on. And unfortunately, in order to make this guy really work, you need a full team of extreme class allies for this beginning stuff. Like, you don't want to miss this out. You don't want to miss out on this. This is a lot of extra support. You could run him without it, but it would be nice to have all that just for the support. The thing with Rose and Goku Black, Goku Black and Zamasu, is that they can be ran on superclass teams. Like, they are just pretty much just Future Saga. I mean, it does say per extreme class ally, but you can also do Future Saga. So, and they link fairly well with some superclass characters, not a lot, but like relatively well with like the gods and stuff, or with not the gods like the character, but just gods in general. So, I mean, I don't know, it's kind of tough. Actually, yeah, it's just really the Kamehameha Fierce Battle Legendary Power. It's enough, but like these 4 you're not gonna get. Big Bad Bosses is another big one. Oh shit, I did not realize that Omega does not have Big Bad Bosses. Oh no, he does. I'm stupid. Whatever. Shut the fuck up, guys. Yeah, Omega is good. He is good, but he's limited by the fact that his support is not can't be utilized. Like, if there were just, the problem with support characters is that they are only made better by having other characters to help buff, right? But the problem is a lot of extreme class characters in the game are not cut up, or not up to par. They're not good enough for the rest of the game. So like, you just can't get people on Omega's team, and that's where he falls short. If there were other good units in the game, this guy would definitely be like arguable in the top 5. Again, he still is, I would consider top 10, but it's hard. It's hard. It's really hard. So let's go ahead and move on to Pan. We've done a lot of yapping. I don't want this video to go over 40 minutes. Let's go ahead and get on to Pan. Oh my god, I did not even pull up or read his stats. Holy shit, guys. I'm so out of the loop. So out of it. These are his stats. I mean, you guys could also see it down here too. These are his 100% stats. Not terrible, honestly. This is not bad. I could pull up Pan. I probably should pull up Pan. I already fucked up Omegas, so Where's Pan stuff? Pan will be here. Okay. I mean, again, she's just a banner. You okay? This goof gotta be lame. Yeah, she's just a banner unit, so we can just read her shit right here. They're not important or special, really. All right, Furious Teenage Girl, Pan. She's super class. Again, a lot of super class characters this celebration. GT or Hybrid Saiyans, 3 key and 130 to stats. All right, that's pretty. Just again, it's a banner unit. We don't really give a shit about the leader skill. Passive skill, basic effects, attack and defense plus 200%, high chance of performing a crit, damage reduction plus 20%. I hope we see more than that. Randomly changes key spheres of a certain type STR excluded to rainbow. Nice. That is probably the best kind of rainbow orb changing, is when you exclude your own type. But every other type is there. That's the best kind of orb changing. Here we go. GT Heroes or Youth category allies key plus 2 and attack and defense plus 40%. Nice. Nice. I almost was about to say, I feel like I haven't seen a line of support like this in a while, but I know I'm tripping. But you get what I'm saying, like just straight like category support key plus 2. But that I'm off my fucking rocker with that one. We've definitely seen support like that recently. When attacking with 12 or more key, attack and defense plus 200%, shouldn't be a problem getting to that much key. And then an additional 20% damage reduction. Now we're at 40. I'm really just you know, freaking tallying up how much damage reduction we get. If we get to 80, we're talking. But if not, we're not talking. As the second or third attacker in a turn, which is pretty much where you're only going to keep her, I imagine, GT Heroes or Youth category allies attack and defense plus 20% for 2 turns. And then when all allies attacking in the same turn are GT Heroes or Youth, she can see the enemy's super attack. Nice. So, but the problem is that it locks her into GT Heroes or Youth. It kind of locks her in, so... for this really to be effective, I mean, you could run her on a team that's not all GT Heroes, but like, I don't know. There is a runnable team that is just GT Heroes though, so you could do it. You could do it and put her on. It's valid, but you know, when receiving a normal attack, damage reduction rate plus 20% temporarily. Only on normals, not on supers. That is a bit unfortunate, but honestly, I would be concerned about her surviving the normals. So that is actually okay. If she I'm thinking if she takes a super, regardless, she's gonna die. But a normal, we don't want her to die too. So that is actually okay. If it was just a flat 20%, that'd be nice. But honestly, I think I'd rather it be when receiving a normal rather than when receiving a super. Because, again, I think the supers, she's going to take a shit ton of damage regardless. The normals are really what we want to survive with the banner unit. So, if we get hit with the super, GG's. It is what it is. But yeah. After receiving an attack, launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a high chance of becoming a super. Nice. Okay. I wish this was great chance, but we will take the high. That's fine. Starting from the second turn from the character's entry turn. Okay. Attacking defense plus 200%. Damn, she just gets stronger. And then this only happens once. Attack plus 200% and launches 2 additional attacks, each of which has a great chance of becoming a super attack when attacking. Okay, so straight from her second turn, she gets this, and this is a lot. That's a lot. I hope the 12 key is good. And then when there is a GT bosses or Shadow Dragon Saga category enemy, she gets a guaranteed crit. Nice. I wish that was just like extreme, but it makes sense why it's like that. So that's fine. Guaranteed crits. I'm not really looking at Pan for damage. I don't know if you are. I'm not. But it's there. Here we go. Super attack, 12 key. Raises attacking defense for 1 turn. Damn. I was hoping that there would be stacking, but no. That's okay. again, I'm not really looking for looking at Pan for like long-term fights. She's just there as a character if you need her. And causes supreme damage with a high chance of stunning the enemy. Raises allies' defense by 20% for 2 turns. Self-excluded. Unfortunately, I hate when they throw that shit in there. It's like, what's the point? But the ally support or defensive support for 2 turns is great. I love that. Yeah. All right, cool. I mean, here are the categories. Links, we got Saiyan Warrior Race. All in the family, which is nice. Saiyan Lineage, Battlefield Diva. Probably not going to see that a lot, but oh well. GT, Great Link, Innocence, and then Fierce Battle. So, I mean, good GT links. Solid categories. I mean, they're just there again. She's just the banner unit. Really not a lot to harp on, but yeah, she's there. I mean, you could probably put her on a team. Definitely not Festival of Battles. She could work in some red zone stages. I could see that. She's not stacking, so that's what I'm saying. There's no way she's going into Festival of Battles, but she's solid enough support where you could use her in some places. But yeah, nothing too crazy. It's just only on GT Hero teams though. Is really where you want to use her, or youth, I suppose. Because she does have a scouter, and that scouter is a big help because you can put her away from the super attacks and then get this 20% damage reduction up against normals. Really nice. I'm oh, and obviously not slot 1, so you can get this right here too. Cool. She's just there. Omega again, I'm not like dying on a hill for. Unfortunately, it's just written in the cards. He can't be that good. He just can't be. And it's not even his fault. It's just the state of the game, unfortunately. And that's kind of what happened with the other Omega. It's the same thing. It's just the way that he's supposed to work is just not supported by the rest of the game. So he's just gonna kind of fizzle out. There are some extreme teams, maybe there are a couple that you could maybe get away with this guy on. I mean, the thing is that he can fit on really any extreme team, but it's that there aren't really extreme teams. Like, there are not many extreme class characters out there that are good enough. That's just what it is. Like, I mean, we could go through, I don't know if Dokkan Wiki works like this. No. And I don't even think you can filter through the side here like this. Can we do like X like that? Nah. Damn. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, I don't know if this Rosé is good. He might be good enough. We could use that. This Fusion Zamasu, I did not go over. I haven't been going over Easy Ace. I've been slacking with that. But he might be good enough. Obviously, he's good enough. He might be. This new Rosé is. Who else? Oh, the Tien. Tien is good too. I don't know if he's if you could just run him on extreme, but he might be good. I don't think the Ginyu's good. I don't know about these guys. Tao. Actually, you know, we have a team. We do have a team. It's not that crazy. It's not cohesive at all, but it works. It works. And then this Janemba, I think this Janemba's good. And then the Perfect Cell from April Fools. You might have a team, man. I'm not gonna lie. As long as you just get like a general like team for it, I think you could work. I just don't know if Tao is not on Worldwide Chaos, so that's the problem. I just don't think you can run them on that, and neither is Tien. Neither of them are on Worldwide Chaos. Shit. Damn. Yeah, I don't know. You can't get those guys in there. But hey, it is what it is, guys. Look, we did just go over the Omega and the Gogeta. I should be having a summoning video coming up relatively soon, so y'all stay tuned for it. I appreciate all the support again, guys. Thank you very much. Again, I had family at the house recently, so haven't been able to get videos out. But I appreciate the support nonetheless. I'm gonna try and get on my thing, man. I really am. I gotta make it happen, bro. I gotta make it happen. So I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.